Hello and welcome back to PECO TV. Today we're in the beautiful Chester Cathedral to take a closer look at making tracks 4. We will find out how PECO has been assisting Pete Waterman and his team of modellers with building this amazing layout. So I asked Pete to tell me all about this year's layout.
Well, we weren't supposed to be here this year. This was a complete surprise in November when the Dean called and said, "Will we come back?" So it was a bit of a rush affair this year, but because of the world record attempt in April, we had Watford Junction, which we'd never shown anyway. So we thought we'd add 2 new ends. I wanted to do something different. And being the fool that I am, I thought I'd have more time than I had. So I didn't want to put 2 tunnels, because we normally hide the curves with the tunnels so the kids can see the trains disappear into the tunnel and then ran into the storage sidings. So I decided to my favourite structure on the whole railway is at Road, you know, the Northampton bird cage. I love it. I've loved it since I was a kid. And I thought, well, I'll do that. Put it in a cut-in. I didn't even think about how long it was going to take. I mean, literally, I finished it on the Tuesday before we came here. And literally, it was one of those tasks that I put down and thought I could never do that again, because it was so hard work. There's only so much you can do before you go stir crazy.
So it's a real labour of love.
Oh yeah. I mean, now I've done it, I know that if you're doing layouts of this size in the speed we have to do it, you can't do what I tried to do. You can't build a fabulous little collage or a little diorama that's 16 feet. It's impossible. You may be able to do like a foot, but 16 feet, a 4-track with banks, bushes, and over a catenary, it's like, forget it. Life's too short.
So you mentioned the catenary. Tell us about the stuff that we've provided from PECO.
Well, without PECO, we couldn't do it. I mean, simply, it really is as realistic as that. Without PECO's wire, it's not possible. I mean, we do our own, double gantries and cantilever gantries, but we always use the PECO singles, but we always use the PECO wire. And the reason we do that is not only because it's the best and it's, it's more scale than anything else. It comes in 4 or 5 lengths. So that restricts you to how you put it up. So we've got jigs, because obviously we don't put the wire on till the last minute. So it means that we know where whether it's a single, double or a cantilever, we can space them all out at 500, 360, 340, which means that the wires just hook on. And then what we do, obviously because it's a portable layout, you've got to leave the wire across the joint, you've got to leave that loose that you put on when you get here, but we solder the rest up and put tensioners on. You couldn't do it without the PECO wire, as simple as that. It's not possible.
Tell me about the track that you're using.
It's all PECO track. We've always used, from day one, it was always my intention to use PECO track on the front for the scenic side. We've never done anything else. If you want the look, you've got to go to PECO track. The only thing that I would do different, I would go, which I did originally, I used the Bullhead on the wooden sleepers, which is fantastic. If I'd have had time to think about it, I would have used the Bullhead on wooden sleepers for this layout, but I didn't. I used the concrete sleeper. We have no choice as far as I'm concerned. I've used PECO track all my life. I mean, way back to the 50s, I always used PECO streamliner because it just made common sense. We've only ever used PECO turnouts right from the very beginning, and obviously we use the longest ones. I'd like ultra long ones if I had choice, but again, it's a balance. And I think for us, in reality, we would like our turnouts to be far longer because of the speeds. We're running at scale speeds. The kids can run these pendolinos at 110. It looks silly going through it like, it's great for the kids, but it's not realistic. So, but you can't have everything. And we did consider building some handmade. But the whole point of this layout is you can go and buy it. It's not elitist. It's not, we're clever so we can build, mile-long turnouts. This is You can buy this, here it is, here's your turnout, this is it, left and right hand, Y, whatever, curve, this is it, they're all available. So you can build it. So you haven't got to worry about, you know, the angles, because it's there, it's all made for you.
Tell me about the control systems and how you would like to interact with the kids.
It's like when I go to model railway exhibitions, if there's youngsters there, it's a movement that they want. So I talked to Tim, who's the dean. I said, listen, the idea you've got isn't going to work. Just leave it with me, I've got an idea. And let me have 64 feet of space and I'll build something for kids. And that's fast moving, kids can operate it. And the first year we used the Zemo system. The problem with the Zemo system, it's tethered. So for the second year we went to Z21s and gave the kids tablets. Well, forget it. It was like, we had like something like 5,000 drivers. It was like unbelievable. And of course, the church, the dean, the cathedral, they loved it to see all these kids rushing around. So from that moment on, it was like, it's not our layout, it's not supposed to be all scale, or it's about entertainment and bringing young people in to get them off their phones and get them into touch style and seeing something actually move in front of them. And you can see, it's really worked.
So is this the last for a while and then maybe you have a break?
No, we've got one more. We shouldn't be here this year, but we are, because it's so successful last year. Next year was our last year anyway, because most of us will be 80 by then, and the physical moving of this layout is incredibly difficult. So the church provide a removals company, because that's the way you have to do it here. So the removals company is great. They come and pick it up, bring it in, and we put it up. So they do the lifting in and out. But it's up at the workshop, when you're lifting some of these up, six, and we're all, you know, it's like, you know you've done it. At the end of the day, when you've lifted sort of 20 boards up here and over, you know, because space is a premium. So that's what's going to say to us. Unless we can get younger members to come and lift, it's just not possible.
It's been absolutely fascinating to talk to you, and I look forward to following what we're going to be doing in the future. So all the best, mate.
Thank you, and thank you to PECO for sponsoring us. I mean, it is, without the sponsors, it doesn't work, because we'd have to take the money out of the kitty. Well, we're raising huge sums here for whatever the charities we're giving. It's 100%, because everybody has put their hours in free. We put our money in free. You give us the stuff. That's crucial.